Resource management allows you to automatically adjust availability based on staff, vehicles, or any other limited resources you have. You can assign a resource to multiple inventory options and have the availability of those options adapt as resources get used. This will help you to avoid any overbooking. To set up resource management, the first thing you need to do is create your resource. So on the left hand side in the menu, you'll see you now have a resource button. You can click this and you now have two buttons here that say create resource. The first thing you'll want to do is give your resource a name. So I'm going to call mine just boat. Resource description, this is just for yourself to find throughout the system in case you have multiple different resources. You can just say boat by 20 packs. So this is a boat for 20 passengers. You can put in a tag. Why this is really helpful is if you have multiple different resources that you need to assign to one option. So say I have a resource called boat, I have another resource for life jackets. If I give them all the tag boat, I can quickly assign them to the option just by clicking on this tag, rather than having to assign every resource manually. So by default you'll have this blue shade. I'm going to set this to a shade of red. This is helpful for if you have multiple different resources. We have this schedule feature as well, which is a calendar view, which I'll show you later on, but it will clearly just show every resource with the colour assigned so it's quickly identifiable which resource is being used. You can make it inactive or keep it as active. And further down you have your availability. So I have a quantity of 1, so I only have one boat, but it can take a capacity of 20. So this can take up to 20 passengers. You can have a restock, so restock by default is completed immediately, or you can set it to 15 minutes or even 1 hour. Why this is useful is in case you need to clean down a boat after a tour or you need to do any inspections of your boat, for example. So for now I'm just going to leave it as immediate. You can assign notifications. You can send an alert to the following addresses when a resource has been manually assigned. So you can have resources be assigned automatically when a booking is made, or you can manually assign them after the fact, so after a booking has been made, which I'll go through with you later on. So you can have assigned alerts, or you can have a spaces alert. So what this means is if my boat has 18 people booked, I can then get an alert to say there's only 2 spaces available left on my boat. Further down you have advanced settings. It's important to note that advanced settings only apply if you have capacity of more than 1. So if you have a resource that has a capacity of only 1, you don't need to adjust these advanced settings. So share by groups. This is useful for making tours public or private. So by default, a resource is assigned, its remaining capacity can still be booked by other people. So what this means is if I have a boat with 20 spaces and 2 people book, then 18 spaces are still available to be booked. If I turn this off, the remaining capacity is automatically filled. So this will make your boat tour private. So if 2 people booked, it's automatically filling the next 18 spaces. They cannot be booked by customers on your website. For now, I'm going to leave this turned on. Shared by inventory. What this means is when a resource is assigned, its remaining capacity is only available to the assigned event. So what this means is I only have one boat. I have 2 different options, however, that share the same boat. And there's destination A and destination B for my boat tour. If someone makes a booking for destination A, nobody can make a booking for destination B because the boat is already assigned to destination A. You can, however, turn this on if you want to have 2 people go to destination A and then the following 18 people can still book for either option, so they can go to destination A or destination B. In most cases, you'll leave this share by inventory turned off. You also have shared duration. So what this means is I have a boat tour that has a duration of 3 hours. So by default, if someone makes a booking for 9 AM, 10 AM, 11 AM and 12 PM can no longer be booked, because they're overlapping times and your capacity is already being used at 9 AM. You can turn this on, so if 2 people book for 9 AM, 18 spaces are still available for 10 AM, 11 AM and 12 PM. In most cases, again, you will leave this turned off. Then you'll go ahead and click Create Resource. The next thing you'll need to do is assign your resource to your inventory option. And to do this, you can scroll up and go to Inventory here. You'll see here I have my boat tour Vancouver. Click on this option and click on Edit. Now it's important to note that to use resource management, you have to use resource availability as your availability type. The reason for this is when you scroll down, you'll have an option to attach your resource. So this is what I referred to earlier when I said I gave my resources a tag. So this is the tag I gave them both. So both resources, boat and life jacket, had a boat tag. So you can just click on this. Rather than having to manually assign each resource, you can just click on the tag and it uploads both of them. The next step then is just to simply click Save Changes. So just to give you an idea of what the resource management feature looks like from the point of sale, I'm going to just show you quickly a booking I previously made. So you'll see here I have a booking of 4 people for the 25th of August at 9 AM. When I go to my point of sale for this date, so August 25th, you'll see here I have a boat tour, 4 people. So when I click into this, you'll see here now the resource has taken 4 spaces off all the overlapping times. So because my boat trip is 3 hours long, that's going to take spaces off 8 AM up to 12 PM. I also wanted to show you that from the bookings page, when you click into a booking, you now have the ability to manage your resources from here. So resources used, you can see I've used 4 spaces on the boat and I'm using 4 life jackets for 3 hours. You can also go in and manage your resources. So if you need to take the life jackets off, for example, you no longer need them, you can do it this way. Or if you want to add on more, you can do so too. I also wanted to show you that you can also do this through the dispatch and daily manifest views. Why this is useful is because if you have multiple bookings under the order, so for example if I had 2 or 3 bookings under this boat tour at 9 AM, I can click on the option here and click Assign Resource. So this would then add life jackets to all of my bookings, so it would add it to every passenger on the booking rather than having to do it one booking at a time. You can then see this here through your dispatch. So this shows the booking and it also shows the resources that are being used. The next thing I wanted to show you was the schedule view. So you'll see here, this is what I referred to earlier when I was giving my resources the colour. So my boat is now in red, my life jacket is in green, so I can quickly see that these resources are being used at 9 AM on the 25th of August. And the more resources you have, you can give them all different colours. So that's basically everything you need to know about getting started with resource management. If you have any questions, please reach out to support@rezgo.com.